Hey everybody, so welcome back to the garden. It's been kind of an odd couple of weeks for me. Things have been a little weird. I mean, not like, aliens coming down or anything crazy like that. Though, it is Florida. You never know. But we've had we've had a lot of rain first off. So the only time I've actually been able to get out into the garden has been very limited. And most of the non-rainy times that we've had, I've had to use to mow yards and fix my AC, which broke. It's the craziest thing you ever seen. Like the intake collapsed in on itself, so couldn't get no air in the house. And in Florida, that sucks. So, like I said, it's been a rough couple of weeks. I apologize for not putting out any videos here recently. I will try and get better, but the weather has been miserable, and my AC broke, and excuse, reason. But it's been a crazy couple of weeks. I will try and get back to doing more videos more often for y'all. But today what I want to talk about is how big a garden do I need? And I'm going to give you an answer you probably don't want to hear, and that is, that depends. It all depends on what it is you're trying to do. Alright, if you're trying to supplement your food, if you're just trying to grow something because you want to grow some organic vegetables that you can eat in your house, which is kind of where I'm at, then you don't really need a huge garden. If you think that the end of the world is nigh, coronavirus and politics and financial meltdowns and so on and so forth, then you need a lot bigger garden. So, it really all depends on what it is that you want to do. If you're just starting, my recommendation to you would be to start small. You can look behind me here and see my expense. Now, when we bought this house, we bought it for two reasons. The house itself was cool, but we wanted a pool. I've always wanted a pool. We wanted a screened-in pool. That was Mama's thing. For me, I wanted a big old yard. And you can kind of see behind me the biggest chunk of my yard that I can actually garden in. But a lot depends on how big a spot you've got. Now, there's videos all over the internet and YouTube about people who grow a lot of stuff in a very small space. And the cool thing about Florida, and I'm not sure if it's this way in other states, but the cool thing about Florida is there's a law that says you can garden in your front yard, unless you're in a homeowners association. Now, that's a whole other thing. Homeowners associations are evil. Don't get in one. I bought this house, and of course it's in one. But it had everything we wanted, except for the homeowners association thing. But that's another story I'll tell you another time. But back to the original subject, how big a garden do you really need? It depends on what your needs are. I will tell you that, we normally shop at Wally World, and we have seen a lot of things run out. I've seen that, during this pandemic, we've seen toilet paper run out, cleaning supplies run out. I mean, even dish soap ran out. They ran out of beans. They ran out of milk. They ran out of a lot of different things. It really don't make a lot of sense. I mean, I'm assuming you're not going to poop a lot more during a pandemic than you are normally, but yet somehow or other we ran out of toilet paper. So, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that they never ran out of vegetables. There was never a time that I saw where the shelves at Walmart were out of vegetables. The other thing to consider is, are you trying to lead a vegan lifestyle? If you're trying to become a vegan, which I am not, I eat the dead flesh of many animals, and I like it. And I don't intend to change that. But for those of you who are trying to be vegan, which I respect, you need a lot more vegetables. You need to be able to grow a lot more, so you're going to need a bigger garden. If you're just starting, however, my recommendation would be to start small. And by that I mean, get a 4-foot wide patch. Reason 4-foot wide is so that you can reach into the patch and touch the middle without having to get into the dirt. But a 4-foot wide patch by as long as you want to go. It's a simpler, easier patch to build, and your garden plot is easily accessible, and then you can kind of start with that, start planting some things that are easy to grow, and then kind of see where it takes you. You may find that you don't have the time to garden. I'm retired, so I can do a lot of gardening. I have a lot of time. This is what I do. But for many other people, they have jobs, and if you're working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, it's really hard to be able to get out into the garden for any extended period of time, and it takes up time. Gardening is work. You are replacing money to get your vegetables with work, and time is money. So you are actually spending your capital, so to speak, on growing your food. Highly recommend it. I think it's one of the greatest things ever. I think everybody should have a garden because it's good to get into the dirt and feel the dirt. It's good to teach your children how to grow vegetables and where they come from. And it also makes a lot better tasting vegetables. You get to harvest them when they're ripe. But I would start there. That's how I would go about starting a garden. So once you see if you like it, you can always expand it that spring, or you can decide to just stay with what you got. So the size of a garden that you want to grow is really dependent upon what your goals are and where you want to be. What defines success for you in the garden is going to be completely up to you, completely dependent upon your needs and your wants. So start small, see how you like it, and then go from there. Alright, well, thanks once again for stopping by. Like, subscribe, and let me know what you think.